And the unbeaten streak does continue. But what do you think of today's performance against Morecambe?
Yeah, the run continues, which is a positive. We were not good enough today. I knew it would be tough against them because they've conceded a lot of goals recently. We've been on a good run. And at the end, we're probably looking to get the point because they had a good chance late on. But it just goes to show if we drop our standards at all, it becomes a tough afternoon.
And I mean, the resilience again, going one goal behind, similarly happening against Altrincham earlier in the week. And it just shows the resilience of the squad, but also the substitutes bench. They've all coming on and really to pull the team back into the game.
Yeah, I was disappointed with performance in general. Like I said, it did show a lot of character to go a goal down and then come back. And it was frustrating. We couldn't go on and win it. We had balls into their box. Nothing really dropped for us. But equally, our standards need to be better than that. With and without the ball. We gave the ball away too cheaply today. We got cut open a couple of times. I thought we defended well in general, but they all looked a threat on the break. But they do score goals. I knew that. They've had some unusual scorelines. So for me, it was about us defending well and being better in their box, having better quality. Obviously, we had a couple of players missing today, as in wide areas with Vex's pace. We knew that was going to be different, so we had to try different avenues. We never really put them on the back foot, I didn't feel. We had some set pieces, some throws, but there wasn't enough quality to really trouble them and put them into the sword.
I mean, one positive to look at from the game on that substitutes bench was the return of Ronan Mayer coming on, and even in his brief cameo, still performed a pretty good debut, you'd say, winning a few fouls and making himself a nuisance for the fullback.
Yeah, well, we know Ram's going to bring. He's got energy. He's got a lovely left foot. He goes past people. He works out. He's got goals. So when he became available, was for me a no-brainer because we're going to pick up injuries. People are going to be tired. We've got good wide players, but he adds. So I'm always one for adding when you're strong, and we are strong at the minute. So him coming on, like I said, he showed glimpses second half. He's going to need some minutes as well because he's not played a lot of football. We're also conscious of that. So there's positives to take. Like I said, we've come today. Everyone wants to win. Of course you do because you're on a good run and you think bottom of the league, 3 more points. But football doesn't work like that. I know that. And I think when we get home tonight, we'll probably think, actually, that's probably a point gained as opposed to 2 dropped. But most importantly, it's about us looking at it again, being better next time around.
And finally, there is no midweek game for what feels like the first time in forever, really. And now it's going to be going into the FA Cup in a home game against Hyde. Do you think not having a midweek game is actually going to benefit the team now?
I'll let you know this time next week, Saturday. But no, it'd be good for the boys to have some time training and going through some stuff because obviously we've been limited with the amount of games, the amount of travelling we've had to do has made it really, really difficult. But like I said, this week's better. We'll train Tuesday, Thursday, and we'll be up for what's going to be a tough test. Another team coming here with probably underdogs, a bit like today. So we've got to be better. We've got to be accountable. We've got to do things better in the final third and try and get through in the FA Cup.
Andy, thank you for your time.
Cheers.